What's up, guys? This is EJ Holland with the Wolverine.com, and we are back with another Michigan recruiting report. I was recently in the Gulf Coast, had a chance to see a trio of top Michigan targets. We'll talk about them. Before we do, though, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free, get notifications every time we drop new videos, especially since we won't be having live shows until that first week of official visits as we wrap up spring travels. And for even more intel from everything coming out of the road, everything Michigan recruiting, you're going to want to head over to the Wolverine.com. Use that promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months over at the Wolverine.com. Get exclusive information on everything Michigan recruiting, the team, transfer portal, basketball recruiting, and so much more. Plus, we have a terrific community. Come join today. Use the promo code UM1. That's $1 for 2 months. All right, guys. So like I said, I was out on the Gulf Coast this past week and had a chance to see three top Michigan targets. So started off in Mobile, Alabama, and saw a five-star in pass rusher Anthony Jones. So five-star edge Anthony Jones just made his first visit to Michigan for the spring game last month. Kind of came out of nowhere, right? Like Michigan wasn't really a factor for Anthony Jones going into the spring. And, all of a sudden he pops up for the unofficial visit. Now Michigan trying to get him back for an official visit. Jones told me he's in the process of planning things out. He will be releasing his official visit schedule for the summer soon. Michigan, again, fighting for one of those spots. At this time, I'm not sure Michigan gets a summer official visit, but I think they will hang around in this recruitment and potentially get him in for an OV in the fall. And like I've said many times in the past, when you're recruiting a five-star prospect, more than likely you're going to need to talk NIL. Michigan taking the won't talk guaranteed numbers approach this offseason. Don't think it works for guys like Anthony Jones. So right now, I think Michigan probably doesn't get a summer OV unless they change their tune, but they can hang around and get a fall OV, especially if they do switch up their strategy later in the cycle. Now, Anthony did tell me, hey, I really did like the spring game visit. I have a great relationship with Lou Esposito. Sharon Moore was heavily involved. I'm impressed with the edge development. Michigan checks a lot of boxes for pass rushers, but it has to make sense on the business side. So we'll see how things progress as we head later into the cycle. Right now, I definitely think that Auburn probably has the edge with Anthony Jones. Oregon is another school that's very, very high on the list. So, we'll see how things kind of shake out the rest of the cycle with Anthony Jones. I did get a chance to see another elite edge prospect, Michigan probably with a better shot here, and that's Trenton Henderson out of Pensacola, Florida. Henderson is a guy that fits the mold of what Lou Esposito really likes at the edge position. 6'4", 225 pounds. Looks a little thicker than that, like probably 235, 240 even. I mean, really well built in both halves. When I looked at Trenton Henderson, I thought to myself, this is a Derek Moore, Nate Marshall type of pass rusher. So if you're a Michigan fan, obviously when you look at Trenton Henderson, just think Derek Moore or Nate Marshall. That's the type of pass rusher he is. Now, when I was grading both of those guys, I had Derek Moore just inside the top 100, and I had Nate Marshall just outside of the top 100. Nate Marshall really grew on me as the cycle went on, and same with Derek Moore. With Trenton Henderson, I just really like him, man. I have him graded higher than I did both of those guys. I think he is a potential five-star level prospect. In fact, one service just bumped him up to a five-star this week. He has really good length. He's super athletic. Like I said, really well put together. I think that Michigan probably has a little bit of work to do, but they are set to receive an official visit. He loved his time on campus this spring. He's grown close to Esposito. He again, loves the edge development at Michigan, what they've done with pass rushers here recently, loves the defensive scheme under Wink Martindale and how it's kind of NFL based. And that's really such a big factor for him is development, scheme fit, what's going to help me get to the next level. Now, like I said, I think Michigan still has a little bit of work to do here. Florida doing its best to keep him in state. Auburn is the school I think probably has the edge for him right now. Auburn is actually closer distance wise than Florida is, with him being located on the Gulf Coast. Auburn had 2 staff members out there when I went to see Henderson at his annual, spring scrimmage type deal. So yeah, I mean, right now, Michigan certainly in the mix, work to do. We'll see how the official visit goes. And one other school before we move on that I want to mention here, USC building so much momentum, number 1 class in the country. They're set to receive his final official visit. So some big competition here for Trenton Henderson. All right, let's talk about our last prospect, and that is on 300, Auburn linebacker commit Shidarius Toodel, who is out of Mobile, Alabama. Shidarius Toodel has been committed to Auburn for quite some time, but has continued to take other visits. You see, he's been committed since July of 2024. So, I think Toodle is happy with Auburn. They also sent a couple of staff members when I went to see him live. He liked what Auburn has to offer overall. It's obviously close to home as well. So I think Auburn's still in a good position to keep him, but he's continued to keep a wandering eye. He visited Michigan for the first time this spring. He's set to be back at Michigan for an OV. He's taking other official visits as well. He's seeing North Carolina. He's seeing Baylor. He's seeing Georgia. Right now, the 2 schools I think that have the best chance to flip him are Michigan and Georgia. Michigan has prioritized Toodle for quite some time. Brian Jean Mary has developed a really strong relationship with Toodle. Jean Mary is a native of Florida. He's visited the Southeast and recruited well in the region during his entire, experienced tenure as a collegiate coach. So I think Jean Mary's he's received some flack, obviously, which is deserved. But when it comes to the Toodle recruitment, I think he's done a really, really nice job. And that's a big reason why Michigan is a top contender in the race for Toodle. So I think a flip is legitimate. Obviously, tough to pull a kid away from the Gulf Coast, especially one committed to an SEC school like Auburn. But again, I think Michigan is checking a lot of boxes for him and his family. And when you look at Toodle, he's listed at 6'3", 220. His coach actually told me he's 6'2", 235, which is more in line with what I saw. I mean, he's the type of kid first off the bus, man. He's really physical, really strong, really well built in both halves. You look at his lower half, just really thick, the rear end, thick thighs. And when you look at his upper half, really muscular build as well. I think he can continue. He's a guy that actually competed on his track team and was part of a state championship relay team. So he has good speed in a straight line, but I think he can continue to work on just his ability in space, his flexibility, his hip movement. For that reason, I see him as more of a straight Mike in Michigan's defensive scheme, but still a lot to like about Toodle. He's a clear top priority for Michigan. Like I said, the Wolverines working hard to flip him. We'll see how things shake out on his official visit. So those are 3 key targets I saw during my travels out in the Gulf Coast. I will be back on the road. We'll have more road reports soon. We'll be back on track for our live recruiting shows heading into that first official visit week. For now, sign up at thewolverine.com, $1 for 2 months. And also like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel for free, get notifications every time we drop new videos, and we'll see you guys again soon.